Hello everyone, this is Congressman Scott Fitzgerald. I want to thank ACT for hosting this webinar at a crucial time for competition law in the digital space. It is vindicating to know that small businesses are perhaps even more concerned about the Digital Markets Act, or DMA, than their large rivals and business partners. I first became acquainted with ACT when they hosted a DMA roundtable for the House Judiciary Committee's congressional delegation trip to Europe in August of 2025. There, my colleagues and I heard directly from ACT members based in Europe and the UK about how DMA harms them. The takeaways were clear. America innovates, China replicates, and Europe regulates. As your association members noted at the roundtable, the Digital Markets Act is failing Europe. Former Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi stated in his report that the EU's regulatory stance towards tech companies hampers innovation. As a result of the DMA, consumers are left with fewer choices and less innovative products. Small and medium-sized businesses across Europe are reporting declines in online traffic and sales. Startup investment has chilled, and Europe is left on a weaker footing to compete with rival countries in areas like artificial intelligence. Unfortunately, some jurisdictions are not hearing these warnings loudly enough. Despite the repeated failures of these ex-ante style regulations, policymakers in countries like Korea, Japan, Australia, and Brazil are debating their own measures that mirror the DMA. The European Union's approach to regulation is threatening to eat the world, and I agree with ACT and its members that this is very bad news for consumers and small businesses around the globe. I've used my subcommittee bully pulpit to caution these countries against following the EU's lead. In fact, I hosted a hearing in my subcommittee just last month to examine how Europe's Digital Markets Act is catching on overseas and what it means for innovation. I have also sent letters alongside Chairman Jordan to the governments of Korea and Brazil asking questions and expressing my concerns with their Digital Market Act regulations. But there's more that Congress and the Trump administration can do to continue to push back on these anti-American policies. First, we must speak with a single voice and reject DMA here in the U.S. and its spread to other jurisdictions. Our next step should be to pass my legislation, the Protecting U.S. Companies from Foreign Regulatory Taxation Act. The bill would ensure that DMA orders are not unfairly enforced against U.S. companies in U.S. courts. Finally, we should open investigations under the Section 301 of the Trade Act to ensure these policies, should they continue, are met with a measured U.S. response. While some countries have already enacted versions of the DMA, like Japan and Australia, it's not too late for Brazil, and I would continue to urge caution. Thanks to ACT for hosting this discussion, and I would look forward to working with all interested stakeholders to make sure competition laws at home and abroad live up to the promise of competition. Better outcomes for small businesses, competition, and consumers.